Hi, this is Carla. Welcome back to my channel at Recalm Holistic. Today I'm going to share with you, for beginners out there that want to make candles and they don't know where to start, I'm going to share with you a few tips and tools that you're going to require to get you started at an affordable amount. So to start with, you need a pitcher, and this is a stainless steel pitcher that you can purchase from Amazon, and it holds 3 litres. And so the idea is you put it in a double boiler, an old saucepan that you're not going to need for food, and basically top it up with water on a medium heat, keep stirring, and you have to keep monitoring it, making sure that the water doesn't evaporate completely and start burning your jug, which has happened to me before. You have to be careful. So then you have to keep stirring until it's all melted, and then you are going to need to pour it, to measure it, into a Pyrex jug. So then you pour it in, and then you can see the volumes on the side, and then you will know how much essential oil or fragrance oil you're going to put in there to make your candles. And to measure your essential oil or fragrance oil, you can buy these plastic cylinders that you can buy again on Amazon, very inexpensive, and you get a precise measurement. Some candle makers use scales, but they are sometimes not accurate. So I've always gone down the road of this is how I measure for the essential oils, and I've got bigger ones as well. But this is a great tool to have. And then you're going to need to know what type of wax to purchase to start with. Initially, you're going to want to experiment a little bit, but what I use with essential oils, I use soy and coconut. I make it in-house blend. But I would suggest starting with soya flake, which is a good grade that is very nice and smooth. It's not brittle. It's got a good texture. It's really got a good scent throw. And I would suggest keeping it simple. So test burn with that, see how you go. You may want to try other waxes out there. There's lots that you can try. Most people do go with soy because it's non-toxic and it's vegan, and so it's suitable for everyone. The next thing I would suggest you need to then look at is the exciting part is looking at what vessels that you're going to use for your jars. So I've got, for our business, cozy amber apothecary jars, which are just really nice and cozy. And yeah, but that's the exciting part. You can look online and see what your vibe is, what you're drawn to, and just go with what you feel is what your brand, your vibe, what you want to create. And there's so many different suppliers out there, but make sure you go with a reputable supplier that you can then buy more from, and they are for candles. They're not just jam jars, because they may break. So you have to be really careful, making sure that you buy from a reputable company that you can then repurchase from, because you're going to put a lot of time into this, and you want to make sure you can buy again if that if something you want to progress. You then need to find out the wick sizes. So I'm going to put a link below as a starting point for the diameter of the vessel. They're all different wicks. You can't just, I didn't know this, but when I first started, I thought you could just get any old wick, and I realised very quickly you can't. So you have to literally buy the size wick that works with the size vessel to make sure that it doesn't tunnel and it doesn't go right to the edges and make it so hot that it basically could crack the glass. It just goes to the edge and it doesn't tunnel, and it blends all the way down really slowly, and so you get to use all of the wax in the vessel. And so yeah, you basically, they're all different. Once you've done a lot of test burns, you will then get to a stage where it's right, and so you must write it down and make sure that you keep a log of what's worked and what hasn't, and just make sure that you just keep progressing and make oh wow, that jar, I've got that jar working really well, and it's basically got this amount of oil in, this amount of soya wax in, and it's got this size wick, this size jar. So you keep a log of it, so then you've got something that you're going to work with and progress and then keep improving. And another little gadget that, well, that tool that I didn't have initially was one of these, which is basically, they call a pancake pourer, and it's got a silicone stopper at the bottom. And this is fantastic because you press to release and pour. So you'd pour in your blended soya wax with your essential oil or fragrance oil, and then you would pour into your jars, and it's very precise. Press and release, and you just pour up to the rim just below this part here. And yeah, that's simple as that really. And then another little gadget that I love, and it is a must-have as a candle maker, is a heat gun. Again, you can buy these on Amazon. Everything's buying on Amazon. This one is so great. I mean, basically, once your wax has actually set, so give it 24 hours, and then you return to it the next day, you trim the wick, and then you basically, you then tidy up, making sure that it's all clear around the rim, and so it looks professional. And that is a fantastic tool. I wish I'd known about that for my first year. I didn't, and it was very hard. It was really hard actually, tidying up by hand. And the other thing for straightening and keeping your wicks straight and in centre, the centre point, a good old-fashioned wooden peg. These are what I use, and lots of professional candle makers use them. And basically, you don't need to go and buy lots of different little centering gadgets, and they don't work very well, to be honest. They can go off centre, and it's very difficult to keep. Whereas with a peg, you can kind of manipulate it. If it's half set and it's not quite right, you can kind of move it around. So highly recommend. That is the other little thing you need. Last but not least, wick cutting scissors. You can use a standard pair of scissors to start with, as long as they're sharp it will work, but these are very inexpensive. I mean, you can buy these for as little as like £5 again on Amazon, and these are very sharp, and it is so much easier because with a pair of scissors you're going in at an angle, whereas this is easier to trim. The last thing you need to decide is, are you going down the road of fragrance oil or are you going down the road of essential oil? Now, they're very different. One is from a natural plants, the other is man-made, and it's got lots of chemicals in, and it can be and is toxic. Some of the fragrance oils, they're all man-made, so they are not natural. It's entirely up to you as what your personal preferences are. I am a holistic therapist, and my roots are that I like to keep everything natural, and so I went down the road of using essential oils, and I love working with essential oils because they are natural and make me feel great, and they've got healing properties in, so they're very good for you, kind to the environment, and I don't have to wear protective clothing like a mask and gloves to work with the oils, and that's something that you need to think about if you are going to use fragrance oils. You do really need to wear a mask. If you are pouring quite a lot of candles, you're going to notice it doesn't make you feel too well with the fragrance oil, but some people are less sensitive than others, so you just have to experiment, see what's right for you as a brand. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and you can hit a bell to be alerted for when I have my next video. Really appreciate you following me. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again soon.